So finally, we come to the discussion of the while loops. And this is the third video of this chapter, third and the last video of this chapter. So remember, when we know the number of iterations, for example, we want to do something some specific number of times. We want to do it 5 times, 10 times, or it could be n times, where n is actually a value that you read from the user. So in other words, when you write the program, you don't know what the value of n will be. It's determined at execution time of the program. However, the basic idea is you repeat the loop body according to the count of iterations. You're counting how many times you're running those iterations. In such cases, use the for loop. That's the best choice. However, sometimes we don't know how many times we're executing, but this time it's not like we read it from the user. The more important thing is we want to repeat the iterations not based on the number of iterations, but depending on a specific condition, until something happens or while something is true. We want to repeat the loop body. So again, let me emphasize that in this case, we are not interested in the iteration number, but we are interested in whether some condition has become true or false. So in such cases, you should be using the while loop. Now, similar to the case of for loops, again we have the break statement and the continue statement in while loops. So just to repeat, when you see break, you immediately get out of the loop. Okay, immediately. You don't try to complete the rest of the iteration. The moment you hit the break statement, you get out of the loop. If you see continue, in that case, you go to the next iteration. You don't try to complete the rest of that iteration. So you skip the rest of the iteration, but you don't get out of the loop either. You just go to the next iteration. So here, for example, we have again a graphics example where we are running the we're using the turtle graphics, and also we use random because we're picking the sizes and directions of these and colors actually of these objects to be random. So I'm just first I will take this, copy this, and go to PyCharm, and before running it, let me try to just very briefly explain what the program does, and then run the program for you. So we have two functions. One draws a square, the other one draws a triangle. The triangle is just an equilateral triangle. All sides are equal, and the square is what you already know. So the only important thing over here is both for the triangle and the square, the size is given as a parameter to the function. Therefore, these functions are capable of drawing squares or triangles of different sizes. What are the possible smallest and largest sizes for these squares and triangles? Well, in this example, we pick the size randomly between 50 and 100. Okay, so what do we do is initially, as you know, turtle graphics starts at coordinates 0, 0, and we just pick some random size and color and shape, whether it's a triangle or square, and then draw that. Okay, and repeat this till when? Until we fall out of actually a given area. We want the x coordinate to be restricted between minus 350 and plus 350. Similar is true for y. So in other words, on the screen we have an invisible square. As long as you remain in that square area, you can draw small squares and triangles just for the fun. Okay, so what's being done over here is you should first pick a color. We define the color in RGB, that means red, green, and blue. You create any color by using combinations of these three main colors, and these colors, these fields actually get values between 0 and 255. So randomly pick a value in between for RGB. Whatever those RGB values are, random, each one, as I said, is between 0 and 255. When you look at the combination of that RGB, it's neither red nor green nor blue. It's just something in between, like purple, light purple, dark purple, or light blue, dark green, anything. Now, if remember, we have these three main colors, RGB. If R is 255, G and B are 0, R stands for red, so you get the pure red. Similarly, if green is 255 and all others are 0, then that's pure green, and finally blue is similar. But if there are values in the middle, you will get all different shades of colors. Anyways, so you randomly pick RGB values, and whatever those RGB values correspond to, that will be the fill color of the shape we're drawing, which is either a square or a rectangle. We also make a choice between 0 and 2, so it's one of those values, and according we first display our choice, whether we picked 0 or 1 or 2, whatever, on the screen, and also write the coordinates. We will see that when we run the program, the color, actually, sorry, not color, the shape, whether it's a triangle or a circle, the shape will be given here, and also the coordinates, and we start drawing. If choice is 0, we call square with that random size. Otherwise, if it's 1, we call triangle. Otherwise, we call circle. So 3 different colors. So 3 different shapes. For square and triangle, these were the functions that we have written. That's why the function name starts as triangle or square. For the case of circle, we didn't implement a circle function because Turtle Graphics anyways includes a circle function. So we're just using the circle function provided by Turtle Graphics. That's why the function that we are calling is turtle.circle, because it's not a function I've written. It comes from the turtle package. So I have to go through the turtle name there. So we draw the shape and then fill with those colors. Then we randomly actually move for some time and put the pen down for the next shape. So this keeps on repeating as long as we stay in this. Where is that while loop? There was a while loop there. Okay, here we go. As long as we are between, for x, minus 350 and plus 350. Similar is also true for y. As long as you're in that invisible area, you keep on drawing. Now, how does this run? Let's run the program. Okay, it's moved to my other screen, so I'm going to move it over here. Okay, you see that it is drawing. It's just randomly drawing circles and squares and rectangles. There are only three shapes, so it's just picking one among the others. Meanwhile, let me pull this to the side. Meanwhile, you see that the values actually are being printed here. See, it's adding more and more below this in time. As long as the coordinates are in that minus 350 to plus 350 inner range, it will keep on drawing these. As you see, they're just coming on top of each other, but they're also slightly moving around. So this will continue that way. I have no idea how many times it will iterate because, as I said, this is not based on the number of iterations. So I will not be waiting indefinitely for this one to finish. I will close this, and when I close it, you will get error messages here because I just messed up. I just broke the program in the middle. Anyways, let me go back. So this is how this thing is running. Okay. Here, for example, we have a simple number guessing game. So you generate a random number between 1 and 100, and then you try to guess what that number is. So you're giving your predictions. So you either go up or down. You're told to go up or down, or you might call it cold, hot, whatever. This game is very well known with different names. So this way you will be able to implement it. So again, you can do it yourself. I'm just skipping that. And this is how you draw a spiral. There are some hints given over here, but if you were to always move at a specific radius, you would get a circle, not a spiral. To get a spiral, actually, you should slowly increase the size that you're drawing so that it becomes the spiral shape. And that's the end of this video and also the end of this chapter.